We're going to go live here. Go live. Close. Looks like we are live. And we're going to go to switch account over here. What's happening, everybody? How are we this morning? We're kind of trying something new again this morning. We are live streaming on both YouTube and on TikTok, and we're giving this a shot, seeing how it's going to work. Got a kind of a backdoor entry into it for TikTok, which is fine, but we're giving it a shot. We're trying new things. So I had this idea. I've been going live periodically. Wyoming Angler, what's up? How are you? How are you doing? But I've had this, I've been going periodically live on TikTok and every once in a while on YouTube, not very often. And James B, what's happening? Hillary, what's going on? And so I wanted to utilize, because I utilize the videos, break them up, cut them up into little shorts and things like that. However, the one area that I have not been good about is my long form on YouTube and my podcast. Wax Fire, what's up, man? Good to see you. And so I wanted to come on here and do a live and utilize it and post it. And the thought I had was I can go live on YouTube and it gives me some long form content over there, some live interaction. And then I can also utilize it for my podcast platforms as well. So that's kind of what we're doing. I figure, you know what? As long as we're going to come on here and we're going to check it out and we're going to do it, we might as well use it. We're getting a lot. Bobby Vooks, it is what it is. I love it. It is what it is. Hopefully the audio is okay. Jamie Burris, user something, KMA, what's going on? Showing I've got 3 live, but I'm not showing. LaRue Lou, what's up? Xerxes, what's up? Laura, Robbie, LeBlanc, Steven, Stage 880, what's happening? Hey, if anybody's in here, can you tell me, is the audio okay? Is it too loud? Am I screaming? Am I quiet? What's going on? Let me know how we're doing. Alex, Leslie, Ariel, Diana, Connie. Man, we're getting a lot of popping in and out. There's a lot of people that are kind of on live this morning, but nobody's really sticking it out and hanging out. What are we doing? What are we doing this morning? Smithy, Ohio, Stage 880. How's the audio? How's the video? The video might be lagging a little bit. That's one thing I've noticed on TikTok is when you're on live studio, the audio and the video seem to lag quite a bit. Colina, Garrett Grimes, Silvertown, Smithy, Ohio. What are you up to today? Stage 880. What's going on? Stage 880. What's the name about? I'm just curious because I'm guessing Smithy, Ohio. You're probably somewhere. Smithy's probably. Bobby, what's going on? I'm guessing Smith or Smithy is in your name, but Stage, I'm curious. We got a lot of people popping in and out. People are scrolling, man. We got some fast thumbs. We got the fastest thumbs on the internet right now, popping in and out of here. So Tony Fenters, what's going on? Joey. So my wife and I, hey, thank you for the hearts. I appreciate that. Thank you for the likes. Simply G, thank you for the likes. I really appreciate that. What's going on, Simply G? How are you doing today? I do notice that a lot of people, it's kind of like following your FYP, right? Or you're following your whatever, and people are just scrolling through and they'll stop on something that they think they like, that they don't like. Maybe people don't like maybe they're just popping in and out because they either don't like the follower goal, they don't like the chat over here. I don't know. What do you guys think? Is there anything that either made you stop or didn't? So this is one thing I'm trying to do too with these lives is, understand my audience better, get to know you guys better and help you guys get to know me. Big Boy Fragrances. Man, we got a lot of people popping in and out right now. David Martin McDonald. What's up? Simply G, Smithy, Tony, Big Boy, Fragrances, David, Sirocco, 805. Appreciate you guys being here. Debbie Lucas, what's going on? What I need to go over and do is I need to come over here. We got anybody? Nobody over on YouTube yet, but that's all right. Simply G. So the idea simply was that we were going to go live like we do. Come hang out with you awesome people. Andrew, what's going on? And we could talk about some things. I was also going to possibly do my quad four. That doesn't make sense. Melissa, what's going on? Doing my Monday morning mindset meeting and mindset journal. That's where it comes with the quad M or the 4M. I was going to do that, especially if there wasn't anybody on and hanging out. But since there's people on and hanging out, we might as well talk to you, right? Rather than just me doing what I'm doing. But so I'll explain what we're doing. We're coming on here every week. I do a Monday morning meeting with myself. Like if you work anywhere in the corporate world, for the most part, there's meetings, Monday morning meetings, etc. Kind of plan the week, plan the project, whatever it is. And I thought to myself one day, why don't I do that with myself? And I was doing a pseudo of that, but with my mindset journal, to where every week I would sit down and I'd fill out my mindset journal, and it gives me a chance to reflect on the past week, the good, the bad, where I can improve, what I saw success on, and then plan out the week. The way it's broken down is, as you can see, I have not done mine yet for this week. And that was kind of the plan, was I was going to do it. But on this side over here, we have got the brain dump. Might be kind of hard to see. On this side, we've got mindset growth tasks, our mindset buckets. It's kind of hard to see. I apologize. Mindset buckets. And then right over here, that's our get our shit done list. And then there's the review down here. So I was going to do a little bit of that and a little bit of working through that, but now we got people on, and I don't think you guys just want to sit here and watch me do it. So we'll kind of try and do it and walk through it and talk through it. And then if you guys have questions, please let me know. Ooh, I do need to send a message out to a client though, because I am live and they wanted a reminder that I was going live. So I'm going to reach out. What was that? Sorry about that. I got a message, so I need to make sure that I respond to that one. So we're going to, that's right. Just bear with me for a minute. Apologies, everybody. Simply G, Big Boy Fragrances, Smithy, 80K, ADCA. Is it ADCA or is it like an abbreviation or like a acronym, like my mindset thing? That's what I'm curious. Yeah, I was added to some random group and then people pulled. Okay, anyway, good. Get out of here. Let me send this message out real quick. I'm going to say, hey, man, I'm live on TikTok. If you want to come join, if you want to come hang out. There we go. We'll see what happens. We'll see if he gets on. See what's going on. Abbreviation. Sweet. What's the abbreviation for, if you don't mind me asking? And you don't have to answer if you don't want to. Either way is good. Simply G, what do you got going on today? How did you, here's something I like to always ask people. How did you find me? Smithy, how'd you find me? It's a secret. Ooh, I like it. I like secrets. You hold on to that secret, ADKA, ADCA. I'm just going to say ADCA. Is that okay? It's a secret. You keep that secret. I love it. I love it. So yeah, mindset journal. So that's what I do, right? Is Monday morning. Typically I do my mindset journal in the evening on Sunday before the upcoming week. And then I do it in the evenings every day. So I do it so that I can plan out my week and then plan out my day. And so we'll kind of talk about that real quick. And then Monday morning, what I do is I have this meeting with myself essentially where I kind of plan out the week. Simply G, Adka. You guys are still here. I appreciate it. And that's more from not only the personal side, but also the business side too, right? So it helps me prioritize the week, tasks, action items, all that good stuff. And so that's what we were working on this morning. And I was like, you know what? Let me go on live. Let's talk to everybody. Let's see what's going on. And that's what we're doing. So that was a long intro. We are 10 minutes in, and I think that's all I've talked about. So the mindset journal, real quick. Mindset journal is first thing we do is we go through and do every week we do a review, right? Just a quick review of the week. And I did that earlier. And you kind of you look at your wins, your losses, right? So what did you do good? What did you not do good? Where can you improve? That sort of thing. And then you go into planning for the next week. And that's with the brain dump. So I do a brain dump every Sunday night, Monday morning is what I do. Megaroni, what's going on? And I'll just go through. And the first thing I do is I go through my calendar. And oftentimes we do this Sunday evenings, like I said, because I sit down with my wife and we plan out our schedule, make sure that we're on the same page for boys' activities, our kids, who's picking who up, who's taking who where, what their schedules are, because that's a lot of what we do, right? So that's the first thing I do in my brain dump is I just run through a quick schedule. Okay. Do I have any meetings? Or is there anything out of the ordinary throughout the week? Like I don't write everything down. I don't say, oh, meeting. And I say what time, blah, blah, blah. No, whatever. I say Monday. Okay. This is what we've got high level, just because if I write it down, it helps me. That's one of the ways that I can help improve my memory is just writing it down. I figured that out a long time ago when I was in school. And if I wrote things down, I would remember them and could retain them a lot better. Hannah, what's going on? So the brain dump, the first thing I do is a quick schedule. Hey, Monday, Tuesday, and I start my weeks on Monday. So Monday through Sunday, what do we have going on? And this will include the weekend, especially Joe's Tech Help. What's going on? Especially when we get into our busy travel season for the boys' sports. It definitely, I include the weekends on there too. And we got a lot of stuff going on. My wife does charcuterie. So she's got things that, she's doing on the weekend, events. She's doing events this weekend. So for this week, for instance, you can't forget that it's Valentine's Day, right? Especially if you're having a significant other. If you don't, hey, hang out with your friends. What do the ladies do? The Galentines? I've been seeing that pushed a lot. And in fact, my wife is doing a charcuterie event for Galentines. And I don't know if she's doing it this coming weekend or if it's just going to be at another time. But anyway. So you can't forget that. So that's one of the things that I would put on here on my brain dump is after the schedule, I'd also say, hey, Valentine's Day. If there's anything that I need to get or the boys want to get for their moms or their Valentine, whatever it is, that's what will go on there. And then the rest of the brain dump is just 5-10 minutes where I'm just going through whatever was on my brain dump from last week that maybe I didn't get picked up, or it's just an ongoing project or an ongoing task or something. I'll add those to it. And then anything that pops up, because one thing that I've noticed that helps me is I'm getting older, and I don't say that in like a negative light, but I'm getting older and we lose brain power and capacity the older we get. Now, I definitely at my age, I'll be 42 on Saturday, just little heads up. I am in better health and shape than I was at 32. And that's going to be my continuous goal as I continue on through life is to be in better shape than I was 10 years ago. That's my goal. And I am. However, there's so much information that's coming in and going out all the time that I can't remember everything. I'll be honest. So I write everything down, or at least I try to write everything down. And we joke about this with our calendar, my wife and I, where if it's not in the calendar, it's probably not going to happen. Bogger Wells, what's going on? So I just put things down. I just write them down in my brain dump as they pop in and out of my head real quick, just to free up space up here in my noggin. JH301, what's up? So that's what I do. That's why I do the brain dump is it frees up space. It frees up bandwidth in my noggin so that I can take on the week and take on the other tasks that I need to. And then I can always come back to it, right? Like I can come back and say, oh, this is something that I can add to my daily task or a daily mindset growth. And I can utilize that as kind of a catch-all, right? So that's what we do. And then the next thing after we go through our brain dump is we'll start with the day. So today is Monday, right? So we start at the top. At the top is the mindset growth tasks. Now the mindset growth tasks are kind of like the intangibles, right? They're maybe not the things that can be necessarily measured, if you will, or it's not a yeah, Adka, 100% that helps. That helps when you have a busy life is just to write it down. And sometimes it's even just writing them down in like, cause I have notes in my phone too, 100% where you take notes or you write things down. But yeah, it does. It helps me. And I know some people, it may help, some it won't. I don't know. It depends. We got to find out is that's what I do with a lot of my clients too is, and I preach this a lot is we got to find out what works for you. If journaling, like with pen and paper, like this, like my mindset journal, if that works for you, fantastic, then let's use it. If you want to do it within your phone, it's all digital and all that, then let's use that. We got to figure out what works for you. So back to the steps. I appreciate that, Adka. Thanks for commenting and being a part of all this. I do appreciate that. So back to the mindset journal. So the next on our list is our mindset growth task. Like I said, that's the intangibles. It's the things that really can't be measured. It's not the things that you're going to check off. For instance, when you, if you were to ever do my 90-day mindset reset challenge or whatever we're calling it at that time, if you were to do that with me and we were coaching you through that, whether it's a coach thing or whether you're just a part of it or you just simply bought the mindset journal. Or here's the other thing. You can even do it in just a composition notebook. This was mine from 2 years ago before I actually developed or published the mindset journal. This is how I did this. So you can do it this way too. And if that's the way you want to do it, by all means, like that's why I don't gatekeep this information, because it's like, here, if it can help somebody, hey, let's put it out there. Let's like I said in the intro, I don't know if you guys read it or not, but I'm here to ignite your self-confidence so that you can create a better future. Okay. Now, if you want my help and you want to be coached, I can definitely do that. Or if you want to be a part of the challenge, we can definitely do that. Or if you just want to go it at your own, by all means, do it. Do what you can to help you build the future that you want. So anyway, sorry about that. I just wanted to go off on that tangent a little bit. Back to the mindset. So it's the mindset growth task. I'm sorry, I am bouncing back and forth. And for all the people that will be listening to this on my podcast later on, hey, this is how lives go. This is why it's Coach Wads live and unfiltered, because I'm not going to edit this a whole lot. I might take some things out. Like if I take a break to do something or whatever, we might edit that out. But anyway, back to it. Mindset growth task. I've said it about 4 different times now, but it is the intangibles. It's the things that can't be measured. It's when you're in the 90-day program or whatever it is, we kind of break these up into monthly sections. So the journal's actually done in quarterly, and then it's 3 months, right? So every month we kind of graduate. It's like a graduated or an accelerated system. Cash Money, what's going on? And so we like to kind of change or modify the mindset growth tasks as you start to make them a part of your habitual life. So for instance, right now, and sometimes they'll just stay on there in perpetuity. I think that's a stay on there forever. That's a better word. I shouldn't use the big words because that's not me. So for instance, on my mindset growth task, this is just my examples. Number 1 is take ownership. And that I have that pretty much on there every day. That doesn't change it. Take ownership, because that's a big part of my principles and my values. And I do that. And then what I do is in parentheses, I just put something on there that would be a way that I can do that to help kind of push me, like an actionable item. Because it's all great to have goals and dreams and things that you want to accomplish. But if you don't have an actionable plan or actionable items that will help you do that, then it's just a dream, right? It's just out there. It doesn't really mean a whole lot. So take ownership. And my mindset journal is how I take ownership of that. Take ownership of my life, right? Number 2 on there right now is be accountable. And then in parentheses, it's an abbreviation because I don't want to always write it out. but it's DWYSYGTD. And what that stands for is do what you say you're going to do. Plain and simple. Be accountable, not only to myself, but to others, right? So do what you say you're going to do. That's it. And a lot of times that's just doing the things in my mindset journal. Okay. The next one is I used to just say take action. But one thing that we teach and I coach as a athletic coach as well is you have to do everything with intent and purpose. So my next one is intentional action. Take intentional action. And that's working on my, business roadmap. That's working on the business as opposed to working in the business, and that could be either of the businesses. And it could even be in life, like take intentional action. Yeah, take action, Adka, 100%, dude. Dude, you and me, we were meant to be on this live today. I appreciate you being here, man. That's awesome. Do I follow you, by the way, Adka? If I don't, no, I do not. But guess what? I'm following you now. Hell yeah. I appreciate you being here. And last one that I have on there right now is be consistent. And that's because I am on a challenge to myself to post every single day on social media, one way or another, whether it's short, long form, whatever it is because I have told myself that I am going to double down on the mindset coaching and push this out and try to help as many people as possible. And so I've got to be consistent. I've got to show up because I'm fairly consistent in other parts of my life. Like I show up to I look over here because that's where my basement gym is at. It's over there next door to me. So I show up and I'm consistent hitting the gym for the most part, 5-6 days a week. Right now, I'm trying to see how many days in a row I can move for a minimum 30 days. And that's another thing. Sorry, not a minimum 30 days, 30 minutes a day. So like if I'm in a strength program, I'm doing 5 to 6 days a week. Well, that last day on the rest day, I should still get up and move. And sometimes that's just a ruck, like a 2-mile ruck. Maybe it's a 30-minute bike ride, whatever it is. But be consistent. So that's my other. So when we talk about the mindset growth tasks, I have in my mindset journal, I have 5. There's spot for 5 of them. Now I say do anywhere from 3 to 5, but when we're just starting out, depending on where you're at kind of and what your goals are. Coach Sam. I don't see Coach Sam on here. So I say do 3 to 5, but depending on where you're at and what level you're at, it can be just one. There might be one thing that you can do that would make that day successful for you. And I say that because let's say Adka, you and I are here. This is for me. Let's say tomorrow morning I woke up and had zero confidence. I didn't know where my life was going. I didn't know what I needed to do. I wasn't really sure what I would do. And this is because I've done this before and I continue to do this today, is I would choose one thing that I could show up for every single day. And I would show up and do it every single day. It could be something as simple as walk for 20 minutes, just what's going on. It could be as simple as reading 10 pages in a book. It could be as simple as I'm going to track my macros today. And I would simply do one thing. And I would do it every single day. So for instance, in December, I did, thanks to Mountain Tough, that's these guys. Let's see if I can, this is my bookmark, Mountain Tough Fitness Labs. Thanks to them, they always remind all their members that towards the end of the year, you do a monthly gratitude challenge. And I love it because that's one thing that I practice in my mindset. Actually, the S in mindset is the soul. And that's one way to build a strong mindset and build a strong soul is to practice gratitude. But anyway, their whole thing with that challenge is you do it every day in that month that they hold it, no matter what. And this year it was in December. So December 1st through December 31st, every day you throw a ruck on and you ruck for a mile. You do it unplugged. You do it outside, no matter what. Freezing, raining, hot, cold, snow, whatever it is, and you do it. And also the reason grocery shopping, all right, just good. Go get those groceries. And the reason that you do that and why this is so important is a few reasons, but one of them is because practicing gratitude kind of changes your perspective, changes, it reframes your mindset from being appreciative of the things in your life, right? The other thing though, that if you can show up, this is why I said if I had zero confidence, if you can show up, let me back up. The reason that we lack confidence, for me, again, the reason why I have lacked confidence in my past is because I've lost trust in myself. Because I have not shown myself that I would show up every single day and I would do what I say I'm going to do. And I haven't done it, so I don't know that I can do it. So if you don't have confidence and you pick one thing to do and you show up and do that for every single day for 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, you will have the confidence to know that you can do it. And not only know that you can do that, but then you can add on the next thing. So if we just start with one thing, like let's say we chose, you know what, here, I'm going to walk for 30, or I'm going to exercise for 30 minutes a day for 90 days or whatever it is. And 30 days you get in and you're like, okay, this is working out pretty good. And then you add the next thing. Okay, now I'm going to read 10 pages every single day for this month. And I'm going to choose a book. So this comes from the coaching framework, from a mindset coaching framework. I'm going to choose a book that's about 300 pages. And usually with my clients, I can direct them and tell them, some good books to read if you want, depending on your genre and whatnot. But that's the next thing you'd add on, let's say, just using it as an example. I'm going to read 10 pages a day for 30 days. And I'm going to finish. And what that's going to do is it's going to allow you to finish a book that month. So now not only are you showing up and you're moving for 30 minutes every single day and you've done it for 30 days or whatever it is. Next thing, after the second month, now you've read an entire book in 30 days. Now you're doing both those things. And now that's when the confidence really starts to build. It starts to compound. And then the next 30 days, maybe it is, I'm going to track my macros every single day for the next 30 days. And by the time that 90 days rolls through and you get around to it, you're going to have so much momentum that you're going to feel, you may not feel like you can take on the world, but you're going to feel that confidence building. Because here's the thing, I'm not going to sit here and try and tell you that you can change your life overnight, that you can change your life in a week, in a month, in even 90 days. I'm not going to say that you can change your life, but your life is going to start to change. In 90 days, it doesn't mean that you're going to be where you want to be in that 90 days. Maybe your goals are bigger than that. But if you can do those things and you can show up for yourself and you can be consistent, things will start to change and you'll feel it. Because I have. This is, again, everything that I teach and I preach, I live. I don't just sit here and blow smoke. Like, this is all stuff that I have legitimately done. Like I said, Adka, I know you've seen this. I'm pretty sure you've been on some of my lives and seen this. But this is my mindset journal. You can see it's from 23. Oh, where is it at? From 23 and 24. So this was my mindset journal. It's not like I'm just blowing smoke. Like, this is actually me doing it and developing it and seeing what works. And the reason I stopped doing it this way and now I do it this way, it's just because this took time, right? Every day I'd have to write mindset growth tasks, and I'd 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'd write them down. And then I'd write the mindset buckets, right? MINDSET. And then I'd fill those out. And then I'd do my get shit done list or my GSD and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'd fill that out. And I hated writing that because I like to be efficient. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to create my own journal. And then I had the idea that, you know what? Maybe I should share this with other people and hopefully it would help somebody else. So that's kind of the evolution of the mindset journal. And so that goes back to, again, like I said, I live it. I don't just teach it and preach it. This is all stuff. And this is stuff I do to this day. Like this is legit. This is the first quarter of 2025 and it's my mindset journal. I've got my why, my hows, my principles, values. I write all that stuff down. I write down some of my affirmations, some of the things. I write down my visualization. So every once in a while, which I need to be a little more consistent about doing my visualizations. But I write that down. The reason I haven't been consistent with that is because the workouts I was doing was taking a lot longer. I was doing a strength program, and that strength program was taking me anywhere from an hour and 15 to an hour 30. And I wasn't going to get up any earlier than I already do. I was going to just allow myself the time to do the workout, and we'll get back in because now I'm transitioning into some new programs, and those will be 45 minutes to an hour, which would give me, 15, 30 minutes to be able to do maybe some visualization, maybe get back into my cold water immersion. That's another way. If you hold on one second. Something that really transformed my life was a couple years ago, I started learning and researching. Oh, thank you for the hearts. I appreciate it. Thanks for giving me the hearts. That's awesome. Everyone at Wineco is listening to Coach Wads. You don't put me on the speaker here. No, I'm just kidding. No, that's awesome. I love it. Something that did transform my life quite a bit is the cold water immersion. So a few years ago, I started learning about, ice baths and cold showers and like all this stuff. And I mean, I was an athlete growing up, but I never continued that in my adult life. And if you did, then the ice baths are a big part of your recovery and that sort of thing. However, it has come to the general public quite a bit more, being more popular. And I kind of got into it. And at first I didn't have an ice bath, dedicated bath or something that I could do it in. People will build them out of coolers. They'll build them out of like horse troughs, things like that. And I was like, you know what? Let's do the cold water shower thing first, So I started out, this is funny. This is the evolution of it. Excuse me. I started out and did, I was like, I can do 30 seconds. And I would do 30 seconds and you're just shivering. Now, I'll give you a heads up. If you are going to do cold showers, the way that I would suggest to get into it is don't take your entire shower cold. Do your normal shower, soap, rinse, blah, blah, whatever your routine is, do that normally under your normal temperature. And then whatever time you set, whether it's 30 seconds or 15 seconds to start, I don't care, 45, a minute, whatever it is. And then crank it down for that last 30 seconds to a minute and do it that way. That's what I would suggest. But anyway, so that's where I started. And then I ramped it up because I was like, okay, I'm able to do this and I like it. I like how I feel. I like what it does to me. Let's go to a minute. And so I do a minute, and then the water wasn't cold enough. And so my wife ended up purchasing me one of those mobile baths, one of those, ice pods. And I started doing them that way. And holy cow, the water comes out. I've got it hooked up in our basement right now. Cause I didn't want to put it outside in the garage cause it'd get too dirty just cause the wind blows like crazy around here. Just, you know what I'm talking about. And, so it's down here, the water, and it's on our main line coming into the house. And I tell you, that water comes in at like 41 degrees. And it doesn't, when you say ice bath, you're like, oh, it's got to be frozen and this and that. And like, I'm telling you, 40 degrees is enough. Because what I was doing was 3 times a week, 5 minutes at a time. Now, could I have gone colder? Probably. I just hadn't, because I didn't have a good way to do that, because I was bringing the water in. It was about 41 degrees, give or take. And then I had some ice blocks, and that was all fine and well, but that water's cold. But the reason I tell you all about this cold water immersion, the ice baths and things, is because that is one thing that you could try if you wanted to, that would do many of our acronyms here. Okay. It's going to bring clarity of the mind. It's going to be, so that's the M, right? Is the mind. We've got to feed our mind. So kind of on that one, right? Because it helps clear your brain. The D is your determination, grit, do hard things, don't quit. And that's a part of the consistency thing, right? That's the thing we're talking about. What's up, Curtis? And if you can commit to doing an ice bath every single day for 30 days, I'm telling you, you're going to feel different. because after you do it the first couple times, you're like, yeah, you're like, I got this. And then after like the first few times and then going into the next week, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, that's tough. Like some days it's going to be tough to want to do it. And if you can just consistently show up and push yourself to do it, by the end of that 30 days, you're going to, 30 days, 90 days, whatever it is. The soul, that one could do, but then your temple. T is for temple and mindset, right? T, that's your body. You only get one body. You got to take care of it. And so you can actually by doing one thing there, you can actually knock off and add things to your mindset bucket on the daily. So that is just a good one that really, really helped transform my mindset and me, who I am, was cold water immersion. Because here's the other thing. It's a challenge. It is a challenge. Some people might be like, it's no big deal. But for me, it was. And that's one of the things that we have to do to build a strong mindset, is to step out of our comfort zone, right? Challenge ourselves. And for me, that is a challenge. So that's one thing that I do. I haven't done it for a long time. Not a long time. It's been a couple months since I've done my ice baths again because of the workout program I was on. But I do want to get back into it, and I will. So that's kind of a quick rundown. Oh, sorry. We kind of got off on a tangent. Let's go back to talking about our mindset journal. We already talked about the mindset growth task, right? And I've talked about the acronym of the mindset and what that means. Mindset. So it's an acronym, right? So in our mindset journal, and I don't know if you'll be able to see this or not, you can see mindset written down the side of the paper. And what's that for? And I've said it here, if you caught that, was those are your mindset buckets. And those are the 7 habits that I try because not every day am I 100% successful. I'll be honest. It's my journal, but still, I'm not perfect, and nobody is. But what you try to do is you try to fill those mindset buckets every single day. You try to do something that feeds your mind. Okay. And we could talk about that another time, or you could see other videos that I've done on it. Excuse me. Number 2, you got to work on I, which is your income producing activities. Listen, to do the things you want to do and have fun and do whatever it is here in our life, in this world, you have to have money. So we have to focus on it, right? Now, it's not our main focus, but it is one of our habits that we need to do. And then you get into N. N is your network. You've got to build your network, right? And that's both personal and professional. And there's different ways that you can do that, multiple different ways you can do that. And I've talked a lot about cultivating your circle. And if you want to, I can explain that to you, Adka, Just, or Curtis, any of you. If you want me to go through that again, I will. And stop me and let me know down in the chat too. If there is anything that you want me to stop on and touch on a little bit more, just holler at me and let me know. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep rambling and going on. So network, right? That's the N. So then D, I need a journal. Perfect. So I will come back to our mindset buckets. Just and Adka. Oh, Curtis just left. But for anybody that's still here, I am working on my revision for Mindset Journal. So this was volume 1, volume 2, and I committed to this on my live on Friday, will be up and live come March 1st. And Just, I will put you on the list to remind you of when it comes out. So I'll just shoot you a reminder for when it comes live. Now you can go onto Amazon and you can find it right now. But if you want the new and improved and updated version, by all means, just let me know and I can even put you on the list. That's what I need to do. I need to have a sign up thing on my profile so people could know where to find me, know where to get me. But anyway, so we will get you guys hooked up. We'll figure it out. New and improved 100%. Okay. So we went through MIN. So now D. The D is for determination. And it goes a bit further than that, right? It's determination, it's grit. And essentially it boils down to, like we've been talking about all morning, do hard things and don't quit. You've heard that saying before, right? And that's what that is. That's introducing, what's up, Ann? That is introducing controlled adversity into your life. Now, that's one thing we talk about. I'm going to go a little bit further into this one because we don't all the time, but there are two kinds of adversity that life brings. It's just the regular chaos and traumas and challenges that life brings you that you have no control over, right? I mean, it can be anything from stubbing your toe to cancer or death. It could be that whole, and that's stuff we don't have control over, right? And we'll talk about that control here in just a second. Um, yeah, trying to move on. Yeah, yeah. And then there's the other type of there's the other type of adversity that I like to call controlled adversity. And that is if you are at a point in your life when things are pretty good. Now, there's going to be day-to-day challenges. Like I said, stubbing your toe or getting stuck in traffic or spilling your coffee, whatever, whatever it could be, right? Those are those little things. But if your life is generally pretty good and you feel like you're in a good place, don't get content and don't get complacent. Now, there's two different things there, but they kind of mean the same thing, or generally. But don't sleep on your laurels. Don't let yourself get too comfortable. And that's where controlled adversity comes in. That's where you really need to challenge yourself, do hard things, and don't quit, so that you are more capable of taking on the chaos and the challenges that life may throw at you. Now, it doesn't mean that you are going to be like, it could be unexpected. It could be something, but if you continually challenge yourself and push yourself, you'll be better adept to dealing with it. A lot of people will say that life gets easier the older we get. And I'm saying that's bullshit. Life doesn't get easier. The challenges don't get easier. It's just we get stronger and we get better at dealing with challenges throughout our life. Because I attribute it to this. And I always go back to the physical because it's the physical things that we can see, right? And so that's where I like to build my analogies. So the analogy I like to use here is, let's say you decide you're going to start working out. You've never worked out before, whatever, or maybe you have, but you're just getting back into it. And you walk into the gym, day number 1, and you pick up a 30-pound dumbbell. Just imagine what that would feel like. You go and put your hands around, the grip, you pick it up and you can feel what it feels like, right? Okay. And it's tough. It's hard, but you're like, okay, but I could do this. And you start moving it around. You do your thing. And then you show up and you go to the gym every single day for 90 days, 6 months, a year. That time passes and you walk into that gym on day 362, let's just say, and you pick up that same 30-pound dumbbell and you're like, oh, that was easier. Was it actually easier, or did you just get stronger? The answer is you got stronger. That 30 pounds is still 30 pounds. The factor of gravity acting upon that weight is still the same. Nothing changed, but you changed. And that's what the determination and the do hard things and don't quit and the controlled adversity, that's what it is about. It's about making you stronger, building your mindset so that you are capable of taking on those challenges when they come. Now, you don't have control over everything, right? And that's where the chaos of life can come in. You can't control everything around you, but you can control how you react to it. And you can do a preemptive strike by doing the hard things when life is good and life is easy and you're doing things. Challenge yourself. Don't get comfortable. Push yourself. Controlled adversity. And that's why I'm going to off on a little bit of a tangent. That's why I think for the youth, the next generation, that's why I think competition is such a good thing. It is so beneficial, whether that is individual competition, whether that is sports, it could be anything. It could be debate team. It could be chess club. It could be baseball, football, basketball, volleyball, softball. It doesn't matter. Sports, individual or as a team, dance, piano, whatever it is, compete. Because that is controlled adversity. When you're in youth sports, it's not life or death. To those kids, it sure feels like it. And I understand that because I've been there. It feels like it. When you lose a game, that feels like life and death, like your whole world is crashing around you. But it's not. It's controlled. That's why I think it's so important for our youth to compete, however that is. So keep that in mind for anybody out there thinking about that and thinking about, well, I don't know if I want kids. It doesn't have to be sports. A little bit, but when my wife and I got pregnant with our oldest, we had talked about that. And I said, listen, I just want them to do something constructive. I don't care what it is. Now they both started going down the path of sports, but that's because they saw me playing sports when they were growing up too. And we had them try all the different things, and then they chose their own things, and now that's what they do. But it's very important. Before we go on, yeah, that's the thing. People don't like getting out of their comfort zone. 100% Adka. The comfort zone, I mean, think about it. We talk about this a lot too. And this is why we need that controlled adversity, and why the M and the D, these kind of coincide. You've got to build your mindset, and you've got to do hard things and don't quit. People don't like getting out of your comfort zone, but we have to, both mentally and physically, right? Because our brain is wired. It is wired. It is molded into our being as humans. Our brain is meant to keep us safe. That's its sole purpose, is to keep us safe, right? Ooh, that's danger over there. Don't go over there. Ooh, that's danger over there. Don't go over there. Ooh, there's my people over here. There's safety in numbers. Let's go hang out with the people. Like, everything that we do is to keep us safe. Like, I'm hungry. I need to eat something. That's your brain telling you that, hey, dummy, eat something. Or I'm thirsty, drink something. It keeps us safe. It keeps us comfortable. So our brain 100% just wants to keep us comfortable and just wants to keep us safe. However, that can be a detriment to us. And look at our society. I mean, I'll be honest. I am a culprit of this. I am a culprit of, in my past, letting myself get comfortable, letting myself just take it easy. And it wasn't until I really started building that trust in myself, that I would show up every single day and do it, and pushing myself and getting out of my comfort zone. That's why I'm doing these lives too. This isn't always comfortable for me, but I do it because I understand the benefits of it. In fact, I just had a conversation with my oldest about this the other day. We were talking about it, and he was getting done with one of his sports seasons. And we were talking about having him jump into the gym and do some things, nothing crazy. Like, I don't put him under a barbell and make him squat, 300 pounds or anything. Oh, thank you, Just. I do appreciate that. It's because she said you do amazing though. And I appreciate that. And it's because I have awesome people like Adka. You've been on, this is the first time I think we've met, but you've been awesome. Just, you're on my stuff all the time. Curtis, you're awesome too. Thank you for being here. Curtis, here's the deal. I don't follow you, but guess what? I do now. Thank you for being here. I do appreciate you guys. So that helps, right? When I have people on here, and that definitely helps. But let's go back to the conversation that I had with my oldest. And we were talking just in general about, like, I tell them all the time, like, there are times when your mom and your dad do things that we don't want to do just because we have to, right? And he talked about, he's like, well, yeah, and I understand that. And we're talking about him getting back into the gym and doing things, right? And he's like, well, but you get up so early and you do this and you do that. You like to get up early. And I was like, oh, son, if you only knew. I said, yes, a lot of times I do like to get up early. It doesn't mean I like to get up at 4:45 every single day, 4:45 in the morning every single day. It doesn't mean that I like it every day. And in fact, if I could, I would always get up before the sunrise because I love watching the sunrise. But I don't know that I get up that early every single day. However, I shouldn't say that. I know that I don't like it every single day. And this is what I told him. I said, however, son, I know the benefits of doing so. I know how good I feel. Now, I may about die in my workout. I did a workout a couple weeks ago where it's the first time in a long time that I actually felt like I might puke in the middle of my workout. But once I recover from that, and once the day keeps going on, I feel phenomenal. And I may be tired, I may be hurt, but here's the other part. And like I said, I know what it feels like when I don't do it. When I tell myself you're going to get up at 4:45 in the morning tomorrow morning, and then I don't do it and I don't get my workout in, I don't take that time to take care of me, I know how terrible I feel. And so I don't always like it, but I do it because I know the benefits of it. And that's where all of that comes into play. All right. So now we got way off on a tangent, but I love it because you guys are contributing. You guys are engaging, and I love it. So mindset, we did MIND. Now it's time for the S. Now we touched on, oh, that was blurry. There we go. S, mindset. So the S stands for your soul. Just like we have to feed our minds, we have to feed our soul as well, right? And there's multiple ways you can do this. You can do random acts of kindness. You can just do something that just brings you true happiness and joy. That'll build your soul. If you're religious, you can read scripture, you can go to church, whatever it is that can build your soul. One of my favorite ways, give me 1 second. One of my favorite ways to build a strong soul is to practice gratitude. Now, Just, you've heard this because you've been on quite a few of my lives, but practicing gratitude, just every day, thinking about something that I can be grateful for on that day. And it doesn't always have to be something amazing and profound. Like I have done, where I'm so grateful that I woke up that day. Yeah, absolutely. And some days I am. I get to see the sunrise, that sort of thing. Or, I'm breathing or, these big profound things. Some days, I'll be honest, I'm just happy for a good cup of coffee. I'm just grateful for that. You know what I mean? Or I'm grateful to be able to do this with you guys, whatever it is, and build that. And that's one thing that we do in my 90-day mindset framework is we practice gratitude. For the first month, we practice gratitude. Every day you need to come up with something that you are grateful for. So that's what it is. You got to build a strong soul. Next one is E. So the E in mindset, and that stands for evaluate. Like we talked about, you can have dreams. What's the saying? I know I've said this before. The saying is dreams written down with a date, it becomes a goal. A goal with a plan. No, a goal with steps to achieve it becomes a plan, and a plan backed by action becomes reality. And so that's the thing is you can have all the want in the world, but if you don't create time to evaluate, to reflect, to critically think about the things that you are consuming, the things around you, where you're going, what you're doing, how you're doing it, where you can improve, then how do you know that you're going anywhere? So that's what the E is for, is it's time to evaluate. Evaluate, think, and plan. That's what that stands for. And last, and definitely not least, because it is one of the three main pillars in my mindset framework, is T. And that stands for your temple. Just as important as feeding your mind and feeding your soul, you've got to feed your body. You've got to feed it properly. And number one in the temple is your nutrition. You got to get that under track, right? Or under wraps. You got to figure that out. Okay. And next, and just as important as you got to move. I am a firm believer in just moving. I just did a video about this the other day. Yesterday, I actually posted it, where I'm like, I read this quote, and the quote was, "Time heals nothing unless you're moving with it." And I was like, oh my gosh, yes, 100%. Because it's just like and in that video, I said this too. I said, good things come to those who wait. No, that's bull. That's not what it's saying. So people will interpret that and say, well, but I'm just sitting back and waiting for things to happen. Well, that's bullshit. Nothing's going to happen. It's not going to happen. Unfiltered Dad. That was fun. I just had Unfiltered Dad on here. But if you just sit back and do nothing, then nothing's going to happen. A body in motion stays in motion. So get your body moving, get your mind moving, get your soul moving, build that momentum. Okay. Because here's the other thing too, with all of this, with this mindset, with your body and everything, a little bit of motivation and a little bit of inspiration may kickstart you, but it's not going to sustain you. It's not going to carry you on those tough days. Those tough days are going to be carried by your confidence, knowing that you have shown up the previous days to do it. Right? It's going to be the momentum. It's going to be that internal drive saying, hey, you've come this far, don't stop. Now, I'm not saying, like, let's say we get into this and like I said, my consistency thing. I am, since December 1st, I have posted, I got to look this up and the reason I know this is because I have moved for a minimum of 30 days. I have it tracked in my Garmin app. Today was day 72. So today is 72 days in a row that I have posted on social media. And that's part of my consistency. Also, 72 days in a row that I have moved for a minimum of 30 minutes. And this is just challenges that I do for myself. And then this is the things I bring to my clients too and encourage them. Now, I'm not saying that if you miss a day that everything just goes out the window. No, it does. That's not it, because we're going to trip, stumble, and fall, just like I just did. Now I could edit that out when I post this as my podcast, right? But I'm not going to, because we trip, we stumble, we fall. And I say this all the time. The mistake does not define you. It's what you do next does, right? What does Rocky say? It's not how many times you get knocked down, it's how many times you get back up, right? That's what he's telling his son in like Rocky 4 or Rocky, I don't even remember. Is that terrible of me? Yeah. So even though I'm on day 72, let's say tomorrow, for whatever reason, something happens. I get sick, I get whatever, and I can't do what I say I'm going to do. Okay, I stumbled, I tripped, I fell. And that's my new high mark. I just high marked it at 72 days. But what am I going to do tomorrow when I'm feeling better? What am I going to do? How am I going to pick myself up? What happens next? And if I just continuously consistently not show up and not do it, that's what happens. But if I jump back on and get back on it, get back into that consistency, just like Adka, just like you just said, consistency equals discipline, 100%. And that's what that's all about, right? The discipline is what's going to carry you. That consistency is what's going to carry you, not the outside motivation, not David Goggins, not Alex Hermosi. Now, they may get you going, but at some point, you're going to get sick and tired of listening to them. Okay. And you may come back to them, because I do. I get tired of Goggins yelling at me. I get tired of Andy Frisella yelling at me sometimes. So I stop listening for a minute and take a break from that. But guess what? It doesn't mean I take a break from what I'm doing. It's because I've built that consistency and that discipline. Now, am I 100%? Is it all sunshine and rainbows all the time? Absolutely not. In fact, my wife helped me realize this, that I go throughout the year, I go through different cycles. And we figured out about the months when that kind of starts to happen. And then it's kind of like this downturn. And then I've got to build back up. And we figured that out. So now that I know this, I'm aware of it, and I can start to combat that beforehand. For instance, I think that's why, For instance, that's why I am doing this challenge, to see how many days in a row I can move and I can post. Now, I use those because those are my consistency things, right? But they both have different goals. But the point of me doing them right now, and I'm at day 72, is the fact that that time of that year it's coming up. It'll be here in a few months, in a couple months. See, what's it? February, middle of February, March, April. So about the April, May-ish. And that's because that's our super busy season, because we're traveling with our boys with baseball. But let's say I show up May 1st, and we are in the midst, or it's actually the middle of May now. So February, March, April, May, 3 months from now. If I have another 90 days stacked on these 72 days of consistently showing up and doing it, and I miss one day, you think that that's going to derail me too much? No. And in fact, do you think that I'm actually going to miss that? No, because if I show up and I've got 162 days, is that the right math? 162 days of consistently showing up. You think I want to break that streak? I don't think I will. And if I do you think I'm not going to jump right back on it tomorrow or whenever I can? 100%, right? But it's because of that discipline and that consistency. It's not because I have somebody chirping in the back of my head, out external motivation or inspiration. Now, I do always have external motivation and inspiration, right? There's always that. I mean, I have my why, I have my hows, I have my who's, the people that help. The reason that I do this, right? The reason I do this coaching mindset thing is not only for you guys, but for myself and my family as well. Okay. So that's part of the motivation. But here's the deal. At 4:45 in the morning, you're not down here with me. You're not pushing me. It's me knowing what the benefits of that's going to push myself. I'm just being honest. Now, I jump on here to be with you, and you guys continually, oh, Dragos, I missed it. You sent me a heart. Did I miss it? Oh, man, terrible. I'm sorry about that, Dragos. I'm sorry about that. But that's what we've got to get you to, right? And that's why I say, let's ignite your self-confidence so that you can create a better future, right? And here's the thing. We're going to back up a little bit more. Day one, and I actually heard Jocko Willink talk about this the other day. He's another one that I mean, if you want to be motivated, that's a dude that'll get you going. And in fact, his books are on my recommended reading list. So if you get into a program or get into a challenge with me, you'll see that. But he talks about this, and he said this. I heard him say this just the other day. Samantha, what up, girl? How are you? We got Samantha, some regulars. Adka's still hanging out. We're going to do a fun one. User 330694637873. Oh, they just bailed. All right, I'm going to give them a follow anyway. DH. Oh, thank you, Samantha. Thank you for that. Does it not come up? Oh, it doesn't. Thank you for the hearts. Oh, they're still here. DH24125. Thanks for being here. Oh, that's my J-Man. Dude, J-Man, I love it that you're here, dude. I did not know that's you. Now that I know it's you, I love it. Thanks for being here, J-Man. I appreciate you, my dude. I really do. J-Man, this one's for you, my brother. But yeah, so what were we talking about? I got derailed because I wanted to come back and see everything. And then I got Samantha came on and J-Man is here. Just, you're still here. Adka, you're still here. I wanted to come in and tell you guys thank you again for everything, for always being here. I do appreciate you. We went through the mindset journal. Is there any part of that anybody was listening to that you want more? Ooh, let's actually, I'm gonna introduce you to something. So I was talking about, Jocko Willink. Sorry, that's where I was going. I apologize. And thank you everybody for being patient with me and letting me circle back to what we were talking about. So Jocko Willink said this the other day. He said, day one in the gym is going to be unmeasurable. You're not going to see a difference. You're not. Okay. Day two, still probably not. 3, 4, 5, 7. Day 10, you might start to see a little bit of difference, but not a lot. Once you get to 30, day 60, day 90, day 300 years, that's where you're going to see it. It's kind of like, yeah, it takes a while. Mine took a year, 100%. I should go back and look and see how long it took me to lose the 30 pounds that I lost. That was quite a few years ago, but it took a while. And it doesn't happen right away. And you're not going to see those changes right away. And that's physical and mindset. And I actually did a post about this a while ago where I did my 0 to 30 or 0 to 60 day transformation. And I have a video of it on my YouTube as well. And the point of all that is, like, I'm showing that because we can see the physical side of it, right? You can see, that's why I show the side by side of me, is because you can see the physical, but you can't see the mental side and the transformation that happened. And the physical side is important, yes, but the mental side, because everything starts in the mind. The mindset is so important. That's what you have to start to build first, right? And the best way to do that is to move. The best way to do that is to just get out there and move. Yeah, 100%. And that's where we get, so Just had mentioned, I definitely needed more water. I only drink pop. Yep. So that is the thing, is number one with your temple. So the T and mindset in your body, your nutrition is number one. You've got to get that figured out. You've got to figure out what works for you by tracking your macros, limiting the sugars that you're intaking, drinking more water. Absolutely. That's all part of the nutrition and being healthier, 100%. So yeah, just like Jocko was also talking about, day one, you're probably not going to see a major change, but it's that consistently showing up, like Adka, like you had said, consistency is discipline. And that's what's going to carry you through. Yeah. So speaking of that, so Jess, I love this. So she said, yeah, when I look in the mirror, I don't know who that was or who that is. Yeah. So funny story. And I'll have to have my wife send me this picture. She found a picture of us from, had to have been 5, 6 years ago, maybe more. I don't remember. And she goes, babe, look at this. I was like, what? She shows me this picture on her phone. Excuse my language, but thank you, Samantha. Thank you for sharing the live. I do appreciate, you're awesome for always doing that. Just you also too, because you're always here and you're always sharing and hearting and all that. So I appreciate it. But anyway, back to it. My wife showed me this picture. Excuse my language, but I was like, who is that fat ass? That fat ass was this guy. Like, and I'll be honest, I don't think that I was like extremely overweight, but holy did I look like garbage? It's like, oh, that's garbage. Who wrote this? Right? My Gru impression. It was terrible. I should share that picture with everybody because that's accountability, right? It's where I was, and it shows that vulnerability that that's where I was. 230. You and me both, Just. I'll be honest. Yeah. Good for you, Just. I'm proud of you. I know you've talked about that before. That is so awesome that you've made that transformation. You talk about here. We'll go back. No, we won't go back. We're going to talk about this. Just, that's one thing. You talk about needing to have that confidence. you just need to get out of your own way, because look at the stuff that you've accomplished. Yeah, you should be proud of yourself. You should be proud of yourself. And in fact, that's one thing, if you guys know, so I am influenced by other people, obviously. I read books, I listen to podcasts. Um, there's the 75 hard challenge. You guys have heard about that, which is phenomenal. It wasn't, there's certain things about it that I don't like for me, but it doesn't mean that it doesn't work. But one of the things that they do, that I've borrowed and taken, and a lot of places do this. It's not just 75 hard, it's just one that popped into my head. But any fitness program that you work through, they will talk about you doing this. So I have this integrated into my mindset challenge and my coaching framework, especially if you have physical challenges that you want to accomplish, or physical goals. And that is simply just taking an accountability picture every single day. So I do a video. I do and I started this on day one. So I have day one, and I did it this morning. I still continuously do this. And that was back in 2020. Man, I'm going on year 5 of doing this. So seeing from 5 years ago to 5.5 years ago to now. But maybe it's 2019 is when I started. Anyway, doesn't matter. Take a photo or a video. I do a video where I do my shirt on and I go around and like I raise my arms and I'm moving, and then I take the shirt off so that you can see, and everything. Like I do that, but I do it every single morning. And that's why I have shared those with people at times, but I do it for myself, right? Just like you said, just so you can go back and see where you came from. You know what I mean? Yeah. I did it so I could take pictures, so I don't have to hide behind my kids. And yeah, 100%. Absolutely. No, that's fantastic. I mean, you found a reason why, you found a purpose, you found a purpose to do what you wanted to do, right? And that's phenomenal. So I love that, Jess. No, that's good. And that's what I mean is, like, you should have that confidence because you have done that. So when you talk about your confidence, just get out of your own head, because look at what you have done. And this is one thing that I talk to my clients about all the time, is once we go through the program and everything, we're like, after 90 days or even 30 days, if you stick with it for a minimum of 30 days, and I'll talk in a second about why I do 90 days. There's a couple of reasons, but we talk about that all the time. I'm like, look at how far you've come just in 30 days, or look at what you've done. And yeah, it is easier said than done. And you are in your head a lot, and that's okay. That's okay. It's going to happen, but that's where we can build the mindset, right? We can get out of your head. We can figure out how to work on that. How do you can, and part of that is getting moving again, and understanding what's controllable and what's not. So we talk about the control of controllables and that sort of thing. So that's an area, but we talk about that confidence, and hey, look how far you've come. The Lego nerd. Ooh, the Lego nerd. What's up, Lego nerd? Oh, Lego nerd. Lego nerd. No, Lego nerd just left. I was going to give you a follow, Lego nerd. Fine. I won't give you a follow. Just making sure I'm not missing any comments here. Not missing anything. We were talking earlier about the comfort zone. Adka, he had brought that up too, and we were talking about comfort zone, and that's like the, do hard things, don't quit. Here's another book that is recommended. This is a gift that I'm giving. That's why I have it in my hand. This is a gift I'm giving, and it's a great book to read. But it's called The Comfort Crisis. I'll do this so you can read it. The Comfort Crisis by Michael Easter. So this is a good one to read. I'm giving this to a friend of mine because him and I were talking about something that was in that book, and I actually need to go take that to him. I'm going to do that this week. It's been sitting down here for a while, but so I wish I could be more outgoing. Outgoing, and so is my boss. I'm just reading this. He's always happy telling kids good stuff. No, that's good. And we can work on the mindset thing, Justin. We'll continue to that. Trapper, what's going on, buddy? You're popping on here. We're just about ready to get off of here because I've been on for a little over an hour. And I wanted to come on. I was thinking about doing this anyway. Yeah, at the airport, you guys are traveling home today. I love it. That's awesome. You guys travel safe. Hopefully you make it home safe. Gabby Daniels, what's going on? Tell Jay and Sam I said hello. hopefully the weekend and all the activities, you guys, hopefully that went well, and we'll catch up with that later for sure. I'll reach out. But anyway, yeah. Oh, good. They said, hey. So that's what we just want to jump on this morning. I was going to do my mindset journal, and we kind of talked through that. If you want to go back, listen to this again, I am going to post it. It'll be posted live on YouTube. So if you want to rewatch it, you're more than welcome to, or even podcast. So if you are here watching it live with me, I appreciate you being here. Adka, Just, Samantha, you were here. Trapper was here for a minute. Everybody else that was here, thank you for being live. I do appreciate it. For anybody that is coming back and listening to this either later on here on YouTube or on Spotify, Apple, or Amazon Music, I appreciate you guys being here and listening to this as well. And as always, hey, let's build a strong mindset. If you need something, just reach out, hit me up in DMs, or you can reach me at thecoachwads@gmail.com, and we will get you taken care of. So, thanks, Just. I appreciate you guys. But anyway, I'm out for today, everybody. I appreciate everybody being here. Thank you for your time. Thanks for hanging out. Monday, what's going on? We are bailing, though. Appreciate you coming on and saying hi. So thanks, everybody. We'll catch you next time. See ya.